Okay, back on the set of the Fantasy Football Happy Hour, Jay Crouch and Matthew Berry, joined by UFC legend Dustin Poirier. Thanks for coming.
The Diamond?
Yeah, absolutely. How's the week going?
Smooth, man.
I know
Fine.
you're from here, from Lafayette, right?
Yeah. I'm from about 2 hours north of here.
Okay.
But I was just here like a week ago. My daughter had a cheer competition at the convention center, so I was just in New Orleans.
Okay. Is it fun, kind of the kind of atmosphere of everyone coming into the city and kind of being able to show off, this area kind of around near where you grew up?
Yeah, for sure, man. Like, having that Super Bowl here is obviously a huge deal for the city and the state, but just to allow people to experience the culture here, the food, the French Quarter. New Orleans is such an amazing city. The vibe out here, it's like you step into a time machine and you're like in a different place when you go out there in the French Quarter.
I was chatting to someone about this last night. Like, I'm Australian, and so for me as an Australian, like New Orleans is like maybe the most unique city in all of America. Like, there's no city that is like this out here. There's other big cities, but New Orleans is very special and a great place to have a Super Bowl.
For sure, man. Great food, great music, good people. It's always a good time.
New Orleans is known for, Bourbon Street and some Mardi Gras craziness as well. You defeated Conor McGregor twice, who I think is crazy. Talk to me a little bit about those fights, facing Conor as well, and what's the key to beating crazy?
Being crazy. You can't out-crazy me, bro. I fought him 3 times. The first time was in 2014 in Vegas. Yeah. He beat me. Then I had to wait 7 years to get my lick back. You know? So I fought him in 21 for the second time, and then I fought him twice in 21 in Abu Dhabi, and then we fought in Vegas the third time. But just being a student of the game, working on my craft, trying to learn from lessons. But facing a guy like that, it's like it's mental. It's not only the physical; it's a mental warfare with guys like that, man.
Yeah, it's just the build-up to a fight against McGregor so much different because of just all the buzz around it and the hype.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of probably the biggest star the sport's ever seen.
Yeah.
So things feel different. Press conferences feel different. The media rounds leading up to fight week feel different. It's a whole different thing when you fight a guy like that. And not only just from the ask of media and promotion, just getting up on stage and doing video interviews with a guy who's talking trash and just a wordsmith. He's slick. He gets under your skin,
Yeah, absolutely. So
but talk about that, because it's interesting. So because the spectacle around, one of your guys' fight is similar to, I don't know, a Super Bowl, right? I mean, again, like you got the press and the media requests and all the promoters and this sponsor and that sponsor and oh, by the way, everyone, hey, can you get me tickets? Oh, my brother's wife needs tickets and blah blah. And all of a sudden, like, it's just so many demands that you don't think about. If you were talking to the Eagles or the Chiefs, what would you say about being able to shut out all the noise the way you did to defeat McGregor twice, about this kind of week, the craziness of this week?
These guys who are playing Sunday have done this their whole life and been in these kind of positions. They know how to flip that switch. They know how to get into tunnel vision. There's nothing I can say. These guys are in the Super Bowl. They've done everything they have to do. They know how to do it. Just sticking to the self-belief. But the good thing for these guys, it's not like a hometown thing. Of course, Super Bowl is so big, everybody's flying in. But the thing with people asking for things are like, if I'm fighting New Orleans, last time I fought here was 11 years ago at the Smoothie King Center. UFC hasn't been back since then. When you fight at home, that's when the phone doesn't stop ringing. When you're flying across the country fighting, maybe you might get a few texts here and there, but fighting at home is when the phone really rings. Yeah.
So when you have fought, do you feel like as soon as the fight starts, it's just back to normal and everything kind of natural adrenaline takes over, or does it feel different because you are at home?
In the actual fight?
Yeah.
No, it's the same thing as I could be in the Middle East, I could be in Vegas, I could be at home. Once that bell rings, there's not a whole lot of thinking about the outside,
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so we know you're a big football fan. You're also a big LSU fan as well. I am a crazy Washington Commanders fan, and one of my secret powers, one of my superpowers, is that I can make any interview somehow about me.
Okay.
And so that's what I'm going to do right here as well. I, of course, love Jaden Daniels, but you've been a fan before I am. Talk to me a little bit about Jaden Daniels, both from LSU and then what you saw this year in the pros.
Incredible. But just to see the quarterbacks that LSU's putting out, Burrow, Daniels, it's awesome. Dude, honestly, this is off subject, but I was rooting for Allen, man. I wanted the Buffalo Bills to keep pushing forward.
Yeah.
But they're incredible. They have an incredible staff over there at LSU. I got to the last year Burrow was there when they won the championship. I got to tour the locker room and the field, and I got to meet him there in his last year. So that was a pretty cool thing. LSU reached out and brought me over.
Awesome. So I know,
cool.
Dustin, you're a big Saints fan.
Oh, yeah.
Who kind of some of your favorite players, past and present?
My whole life. I actually just walked by Drew Brees over there. I mean,
and you met him before?
No, I got to sign football. I sent him something, he sent me something back, but I never met him in person, and I didn't want to bother him when I walked by just now. But I've been a Saints fan my whole life, so I've been brokenhearted most of my football memories. But man, when we won the Super Bowl after Katrina, it brought the whole state together. I mean, I saw grown men crying. It was so big for the state of Louisiana at that time. It was great, but we need a quarterback. We need a quarterback. We need a head coach. We need a lot of things right now.
Who are you hoping for head? Kellen Moore, the coordinator of the Eagles, has been sort of rumored as kind of the guy that will be. Are you excited if it is Kellen Moore? Is there somebody else out there you want? What do you think?
There's nobody that I think that I like really, really want. I just want a healthy quarterback. I want Taysom Hill to be healthy. I want our receivers to be healthy. Because we have so many weapons, it's out of sync.
Hopefully Olave can stay healthy for a full year. He's obviously dealt with some concussion issues. So, there's a lot of talent on the team. Just feels like it hasn't clicked. Tell you what, though, the team this year, I think they scored on the first 16 drives of the season, and it looked like they were going to be, division winners, competing, and then
we started 2-0, 3-0, and it just kind of started getting rocky. And when we brought Carr over, I was skeptical, but I was hopeful. I was like, maybe this guy can pull this together. This is our new guy. And then after, I was like, maybe he's not. Something about him. A great quarterback. It's just something about him. He's like, to me, every time the camera pans to him, he's complaining about something. You need good energy on the team,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the NFL isn't exactly the UFC, but maybe the closest it gets to the UFC is Marshawn Lattimore and Mike Evans going at it. I know Lattimore's not on the Saints anymore, but did you get a kick out of watching that kind of rivalry in the division over the years?
For sure, man. Marshawn is crazy. Anytime I see a video, I don't even have to read the caption. I'm watching it because the stuff this guy says, the energy he brings, is awesome. But man, I actually got to do the draft for the Saints with Cam Jordan when we brought in Alontae Taylor. I think it was like the second round pick. I went to Vegas and got to do it. But we got a solid defense, man.
Absolutely. You've mentioned, by the way, that potentially plans for your last fight, maybe potentially here in New Orleans, might do that. Any thoughts on opponent? And by the way, can I get a couple of invites to whatever the party is afterwards?
For sure, you're invited to the party. I don't have any tickets for you. All right. I think I'm
just going to drop your name. I feel like that might get me in.
Yeah, for sure. Sure. On fight week, it might work. Yeah. I don't have any. I mean, I really wanted to fight Justin Gaethje. We're 1-1. I finished him. He beat me in Utah. I don't want to, because my next fight is most likely my last one. I'm gonna lay the gloves down. And to do it here in Louisiana, where it all started, would be incredible for me. I think it could happen. Nothing's done yet. But I think the summer, I know UFC's pushing for it. So the state of Louisiana, New Orleans, if everybody can get on board, I think the summer is likely.
Okay. That'd be great. So I'll look forward to that.
Last one for you, Dustin. Who do you think wins the Super Bowl? I know you said you're cheering for the Bills and Josh Allen, but who do you think wins between the Eagles and Chiefs?
I'm going Eagles.
Okay.
I'm going Eagles. No particular reason. Yeah. Well, I like the quarterback. I like the running back. And I just, with all due respect, I don't want to see. I had enough Taylor Swift talk and all that. Let's play football.
I have one last question for you. So I have a dad bod. I'm not a good athlete as well. But is there a UFC move that you could? Is there like a MMA move that you could teach somebody like me? Like, is there like one, or is it just all like you have to actually be like a very good athlete? Is there like one simple move that you could teach? Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
All right, let's teach me. Will you teach me?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, right now. Yeah. Hang on. I'm gonna unhook myself. Why not? When do you get a chance to get a lesson from a UFC legend?
To get choked?
Yeah. By the way, if you choke me, Jay will be very happy. He wants to learn how to choke me many times.
This is the move that anybody can do. You don't have to be an athlete to squeeze it back.
All right, let's go.
How do we do this?
This is called a rear naked choke. So you face this way.
Rear naked choke. Rear naked choke.
My forearm, the blade of this bone on your neck.
Yep.
Go here to my bicep, hand behind your head, and I would squeeze my elbow to my shoulder.
I'm tapping out. It's amazing.
Unbelievable.
So
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's go step
Hold
by
on.
step. So yeah, you hear?
Dustin's
Right
getting
there
his.
with this.
Keep the blade on his neck.
Yep.
This is
Reach your
terrifying.
bicep.
Oh, my God.
Fold this hand behind his head.
Wow, this feels like Dustin
Put it
Poirier.
behind.
Oh, my
No,
God.
put it behind his head. Push his head forward and pull your elbow.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a good
Oh.
one.
That's sneaky
Yeah,
time.
wow. All right.
Fantastic.
I'm glad that was
Thank you,
Matthew
Dustin.
Barry, not Dustin
That was
Poirier, doing
amazing,
that on
yeah.
me. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he's my best friend now.
Yeah, okay. That was remarkable content. Terrifying content, but remarkable content.
The art of the choke.
Yeah.
The art of the choke. Yeah, I'll never forget being around for that. Okay, there's no way to win that cleanly. Dustin Poirier, UFC legend, Louisiana legend. Thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy the week out here, man.
Thank you, man. Thanks for
Thank
having
you,
me.
man. Appreciate you, brother.
Yep.
Hey, it's Matthew Barry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest RotoWorld fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.